Hope everyone is having a fantastic night. The Miami Hurricanes take care of business against the Bethune Cookman Wildcats 48-7. I must say, Ross, it is a fantastic night. Fantastic game when Ryan Rigoni gets playing time.
You got to love seeing the depth, man. It means that we took care of business the way we were supposed to take care of business.
Exactly. And that was the expectation going into this game, right? Was, we everybody knew we were going to win the game, right? It was more of get your first team in, no injuries. All right, cool. Play your second team, play your third team, no injuries, and let's see what your depth has. Right? That was really the conclusion of this football game, and Miami takes care of business. Let's break it down here. Don Chaney, 7 carries, 73 rushing yards, 10 yards per carry. You have AJ Allen, 12 carries, 68 rushing yards. Henry Parrish, 7 carries, 52 rushing yards. Chris Johnson Jr. looked really good tonight, by the way. 7 carries, 40 rushing yards. We had 240 rushing yards total. Then, leading your receivers, you have Restrepo with 6 receptions, 120 receiving yards. Colby Young, 55 receiving yards, 5 receptions. Jacoby Jorbs, 5 receptions, 52 receiving yards. Total Tyler Van Dyke with 247 passing yards, and Emory Williams, 9 out of 11, 102 passing yards.
I couldn't have asked for anything more, honestly, especially when the depth started to get in and started to get more and more into the second and third stringers. I got to say, man, Emory Williams came in and did a fantastic job in that second half, man. He looks sharp. That he has a laser for an arm, and that's a tight spiral he throws. I'll tell you what, man.
Yeah, Emory looks really good for a college quarterback, especially for a true freshman quarterback in college football at the moment. He looks very confident in the pocket. We saw this against Miami, Ohio. We're seeing this now against Bethune Cookman. I think he's ready to go in college football, and I think he is definitely taking shape into his backup quarterback role at the moment. The future is looking bright at the University of Miami at the quarterback position.
Yeah, I think it was made pretty clear today that he is absolutely our backup quarterback. There's no doubt about it. There was always the wonder if is it going to be Ja'Cory Brown? Is it going to be Emory Williams? I think today solidified Williams as our number 2. I really do.
And we talked about this last show, Ross. I think Ja'Cory Brown, his issue is that he doesn't know where the ball is going.
Yeah, accuracy.
Accuracy issues, and Emory Williams is more accurate. Yes, Ja'Cory Brown is very mobile. He's a playmaker using his legs, but at the end of the day, I think Emory Williams is ready to go, and Ja'Cory Brown is still a project.
And when you've got a project and you've had him for a couple years, you got to start wondering, are you going to see improvement? When are we going to see the improvement we want to see to elevate him to the, because at this point, honestly, he should be the number 2 quarterback. If you think about it in terms of being around the system or being with the team or at least the head coach anyways. But Emory Williams fits this system very, very well. He fits the Shannon Dawson system very well.
I completely agree. No, 100% agree. I don't want to move forward, Pat, to Temple coming up when we're heading up to Philadelphia, man. But it is a beautiful sight to see. The Miami Hurricanes fan base is happy. We're confident. We're 3-0. We should dominate against Temple. Then you have conference play against Georgia Tech. Defense is looking great.
Yes.
I'm excited. The fan base is excited, Ross. By the way, I just want to give a shout out to Francisco Mauigoa.
Oh, yes.
I think he has been a huge impact from the transfer portal for the linebacker position unit.
Incredible. Incredible pickup to put right next to Wesley Basaint. We've got the new age sideline to sideline linebackers now. We're playing the new age style of defense, and it's showing, Paul. It's actually showing on the field. And you know what? Our players already get it because it fits them naturally. That's what's fantastic, is none of this stuff has been forced. Everything looks very natural, and that's what you want to see. You want to see your natural playmakers naturally do what they do.
Exactly. No, and I mean it is really nice to see. I mean, Robbie Washington had a couple receptions.
Yeah.
I've been big on Ray Joseph. I think, look, he's a freshman. Give it time. He's going to be a playmaker in this offense. Chris Johnson, I mean, the guy looks electric. His first game in college football. Had a couple carries, but I mean, look, man, we saw that touchdown running down the sideline. Looks really good. Really, really good. Trevante Citizen is still injured, hasn't even taken a carry this year. The running back room is loaded, Ross.
Not one running back averaged under 5.5 yards per carry. Everyone was 5.7 yards per carry or above.
And I think it's credit to the offensive line as well. It's a complete 180 from last year.
Yes.
It's a complete 180.
We saw the lanes they made for him. I mean, there were gigantic holes they were creating for these running backs. I mean, even the announcers were talking about they were lanes that they could run through. So, I mean, that just shows you, I mean, our guys are actually moving bodies in the trenches finally.
Right. Exactly. And Ross, I know you had some comments from recruits that we spoke about yesterday. Unfortunately, we had to take down the YouTube video due to Wi-Fi issues, which we are working on. But Tavion Galloway did have some very interesting comments about this football team.
Yeah, the quote that I got from Tavion, I spoke with him, after he was at the Texas A&M game, of course, and I spoke with him after that, and he was short and sweet about it. He said, "Hard Rock was shaking. Be back next month. Go Canes." That's to put you guys on notice right there that Tavion Galloway will be back in Miami next month. That's a big sign for us, guys. It really is.
Yeah, it's very simple. If we keep winning, we'll pick up not only 5-star recruits, very good football players.
Yes.
Yeah, keep the best recruits home. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. You have your Carnell Tates, your Brandon Innes, who went to Ohio State, for example. You win football games, you reel in 5-star recruits, big-time players over time that are from the state of Florida, from South Florida, to the University of Miami, and you will develop second team and third team depth without a problem.
I'll tell you what, Paul, in terms of recruiting, the 2025 class and the 2026 class is excited as hell about what Miami's doing right now. I'll tell you that straight up, dude. Everyone I've talked to, it's not just, man, you guys play are good. You guys look good. It's like you guys are playing tremendous football. Like you guys look freaking awesome. And
like I said, Ross, this is the best I've seen the defense play. They're flying around the field. They're comfortable. They're having fun. James Williams is a player. We've spoken about this. He's electric on the field. We haven't seen James Williams in this kind of state of mentality. The tackling is just 180 compared to last year. It's 180, Ross. What's the difference? What's the difference? Lance Guidry? I mean, that I'd love to know. And thank you, Greg Edwards. I greatly appreciate your support for the show. The Scoop on the U is back. We took some time off, but we're back now.
I think the new DC and also maturing as a player and growing up, getting older, learning what the college game is like, experience is always a big deal. And he's starting to get that experience. Once he gets comfortable with that experience, that's where you start to see guys play their natural style of football. And we're seeing that from James Williams. He's flying all over the place. It's clear that Guidry has basically given him a green light and said, go take kids' heads off, basically.
I will say maybe some people are inclined to the comment, but I don't think Shannon Dawson's offense is tight end friendly. I think they're utilized heavily as blockers, which is fine. If that's the type of offense you want to run, that's fine. You want to win football games, I get it. But we are tight end that is an identity of this football program, is producing great tight ends. I just don't think this upcoming season we're going to see a lot of tight end usage. People have been asking, where's Jaleel Skinner? We have Riley Williams. Cam McCormick's 35. But you know what? I just don't think Shannon Dawson's offense revolves around tight ends.
Yeah.
It's the reality of the situation, Ross.
It seems to be they enjoy having the extra blocker in instead of having the extra pass catcher out there. And the one thing for me is as well, I'm on the same boat as you, Paul. I like to see the tight end usage because we are tight end you, and it's kind of what I'm used to seeing as a Miami fan. But as long as we're putting up points on the board and we're scoring heavily and we're winning, I can't complain, man. You know, if we weren't putting up points and not using our tight ends, you'd hear some different stuff from me. But man, as long as we're racking up
Exactly.
points, it's hard to complain.
Exactly. Hey, win football games. That's all I care about.
Yes, sir.
That's all I care about. And I think we have a lot of great tight ends. I think we are loaded at the tight end position unit. I really do. I think Jaleel Skinner can play football at the Power 5 level for a lot of football programs. I think, Elijah Arroyo, he's coming back from an injury. When he gets his moment, he'll be ready to go. I think Riley Williams can be a great tight end as well. Cam McCormick seems like he's been a great addition so far. We've been utilizing him the most. But I don't think that we're going to see a lot of tight end utilization this upcoming season. But for me personally, it's winning football games, scoring a lot of points, and seeing Tyler Van Dyke back to his old form, which is what we're getting so far, is amazing for me.
It feels to me the tight end position for our staff, they're looking for experience instead of just raw playmakers. And I think that's why we've seen McCormick so much with Elijah Royal out. But I believe when Elijah Royal gets healthy, we'll actually see a lot more of Royal out there because he's got some of that experience. And I think maybe that might be the guy that they might be looking to for a little more playmaking at tight end. I can't say that's for sure. But, hey, if that's something else that we can add to our offense, it only makes it more deadly.
And I love how the schedule plays out, Ross. We have Temple in Philadelphia next week. Then we have Georgia Tech. I believe we have a bye week before Georgia Tech. We should take care of business the next two games. Then you have UNC, which, if you look at the history of Miami playing UNC in Chapel Hill, they either blow us out or it's a very tightly contested game.
Yeah.
That's going to be very interesting, that game in Chapel Hill. Both teams should be undefeated. I understand they had some hiccups against App State, which is tentatively usually a solid, good football program, but it's another good test for Miami. But I'll say this, man. I'm very confident going into that game. I don't want to look ahead, one game at a time, but I'm really confident about this football program.
I think the UNC game is going to be a great kind of you could call it almost an ACC barometer for us, to kind of gauge and feel out how we look within our own conference and playing against a team we know that has talent. They might not be the most talented UNC team that's been around lately, but they still have talent, and they have plenty of talent enough, especially when you consider just being in the ACC alone, So we got to win those kind of battles. We got to get to the ACC championship game, Paul. That's been the goal for a long, long, long time. We haven't done it yet.
Well, we did under Mark Richt. It was yeah. But yeah, no, it should be the standard at the University of Miami. It is a new ACC conference in the sense of divisions are gone. Your Coastal and your Atlantic no longer exists. It's top two best records, which history past Miami usually Coastal is weaker. So Atlantic has been stronger. So that would be amazing. Miami, Florida State, back to back. I love it. Regular season and for the title game. I don't think that, it's never been replicated. The only time was when we played Florida State in the Orange Bowl, but and the regular season. But yeah, no, 100%. Would definitely look forward to that. That's going to be a great game. Miami in Doak Campbell against Florida State. That's going to be a really good football team and a good matchup. Ross, I want to talk about the defense a little bit. We did touch up on Francisco Mauigoa, how he's impacted the linebacker room. What other observations do you have defensively?
I really like what I saw from Ahmad Moten, honestly. While he might have not made a lot of noise, being in the interior, you don't always make a lot of noise or put up a lot of stats. But what he showed me is he showed me that initial burst. He showed me why the staff was excited at him as just a 3-star.
Right.
Ahmad, and I've been excited about him the entire time. You know that. I've always been high on Moten. high on Ahmad Moten. But man, for him to show it this early, right away, I really, really liked seeing that. Your boy, Jaden Davis, wow. I mean, just wow. What can't he do for our secondary? Honestly, he seems to be the Swiss Army knife for us. You know.
Right.
I love seeing him just flying all over the place, making plays. Jaden Wayne to me showed a little bit of that burst on the outside as well. You know, he showed me that quickness. He showed me a little bit of advanced hand technique. He's still, of course, raw. He's still young. It's going to take time. Same with guys with Cyrus Moss. But these guys are getting snaps now. They got on the field, and it's great to see, Paul, because what I'm seeing is what's translating. You know, these guys were picked because of their speed, because of their burst. They were chosen because of that. They're already showing it. While it might not be perfected yet, they're still showing that upside. I love seeing it.
The future's looking bright at the University of Miami. Jaden Davis, another great transfer portal pickup from Oklahoma. I mean, I think he's made such. I mean, against Texas A&M, I mean, I thought he was the impact player in my opinion. He changed really a shape of the outcome of that game. I'm excited for conference play, Ross. We got Temple up next. We're going to take care of business. Then we have Georgia Tech. I'm trying to think. Have you seen maybe something we need to capitalize on in the sense of it's a weakness we need to get stronger at so far 3 games into the season?
It's hard to point out, you know, a true weakness, honestly. I suppose that we could still be getting a little bit more pressure, you know, from our rotation, from our rotational depth and stuff. We could still be getting more pressure there, but I believe that'll happen as time goes on because these are very highly skilled players. They're just young and raw, most of them, anyways. But we even saw guys like Lichtenstein. He got in there for a sack today and stuff. So we've got guys who can get back there. It's just I'd like to see it a little bit more often. That's all. But dude, other than that, I don't have a lot of large complaints. I mean, I guess outside of the fact that we're not using our playmaking tight ends, but like I said, I can't complain too much because we're putting up tons of points on the board.
Right. Exactly. No, I agree. And you know, I clean up some penalties we've seen early on.
Yeah.
That's always something that you need to take care of. But I think for right now, there's a lot of confidence. We're moving in the right direction. The fan base is happy. There's a lot of positive energy, and I love it. This is the best football team I've seen at the University of Miami in quite a while. Unfortunately, I'm saying that, but it's true. It's true. Defensively, I'm actually confident. This isn't a Manny Diaz defense where we get away with a lot of stuff against mediocre opponents and it looks good on the stat sheet. No, like we're really playing really well. I'm really excited for this season. I can't say it enough.
And one thing I want to point out, you know, before we move on to anything else here is third down efficiency today for Miami. We were 7 for 9. That's the kind of stuff I want to see us continue going forward with. We got to be efficient on third downs. We just have to.
I think Tyler Van Dyke is back, Ross. I think he's back. I think last year was, unfortunately, due to Josh Gaddis, was a shit year.
Yeah.
And I think Shannon Dawson said it best. He's not thinking. He's going with his instincts. He's being the Tyler Van Dyke we saw year 1. And there's a reason why Drew Rosenhaus is his agent and why Alabama wanted him to be their quarterback in the offseason.
Yeah.
He's legit. Jacoby George is playing the best football I've seen him play. Fully healthy. Colby Young dropped tons of weight. He's a lot faster. Did he have the best game today? No, he didn't. Call it like I see it. He did not. Xavier Estrepo, completely improved. And I think we're sticking to those 3 guys at receiver as well. Yep. They're going to get the primary targets. You're going to get shades of Isaiah Horton, Ray Joseph, maybe some Robbie Washington. And Brashard Smith needs more playing time. He needs more targets. He's earned it the past 2 weeks. He's a playmaker.
Yeah. I mean, you want to get the ball into anybody's hands who can make plays or at least has speed. I mean, that's just the name of the game right now, you know? And we saw it today. You know, we saw our guys with speed win those battles.
No, I mean Brashard Smith has earned it past 2 weeks, man. Kick return for the touchdown. Made some nice receptions against Bethune Cookman. You know, get him in the rotation. Why stick with 3 receivers? You know?
Yeah. I'd like to see us keep working these guys in, keep working them in, keep working them in, and then find out the areas where they're best at. You know what I'm saying? Where they truly thrive at, and then bring them in at the perfect times for those scenarios. That's where I want to see us kind of going forward with. So we've basically got a deadly weapon in our pocket at all times for all scenarios. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I want to kick it over to recruiting, Ross, because I know you cover it deeply with Ryan Wright at RNG. And we did cover it on yesterday's show. Unfortunately, due to internet connection, we had to delete it. What's going on? What are you hearing from your interviews and from recruits you talk to daily?
I'm hearing, I mean, from the names of, Dia Bell, Greg Thomas, Kavion Broussard, Judd Anderson, of course, one of our commits, Chris Ewald Jr., Noah Grubbs, Kobe Howard, Tavian Galloway, Denarius Gray, Waden Charles. They have all said nothing but absolutely positive stuff about us. And they speak to each side of the ball that they're from. If they're defenders, they speak about how exciting the defense is. If there are guys on offense, they speak about how exciting the offense is. And most of the time I'm getting like full out 2 or 3 paragraph answers from these guys because they're so excited about answering the question, dude. And it's something I haven't seen in a long time, because it used to just be, I'd ask a recruit, what do you think about Miami? Oh, well, I think they're heading in the right direction, but we got to see, now players are saying, no, Miami is heading in the right direction, and we're paying attention.
Yeah, I agree. And that's what happens when you beat Texas A&M. Now, we got to take care of business at Temple. I'm not nervous. I think we should win by 30. No questions asked.
Yeah.
We should run through conference play.
On the ball. Yeah.
There is no reason why this team shouldn't be Clemson at home. I'm saying it right now. There is no reason. We sell out Hard Rock Stadium. 75% attendance, 80% filled out, 90, whatever. Put a good atmosphere out there. There's no reason why we cannot beat Clemson. If Duke beat Clemson, and they're a good football team, they're a very good football team. I think they have a great quarterback. There's no reason why Miami should not beat Clemson at home. I'm calling it right now. There is no reason why not. Oh, Paul, settle down. I don't want to hear it. There is no reason why we shouldn't beat Clemson at home. We have the talent. We recruit just like them. Let's take care of business.
I think the fact that we can run or pass to win football games is what gives us an edge right there, dude. Because we don't have to lean on one or the other. We've proven, even week 1, everyone was just shocked. Like, okay, we're going to be a running team apparently. Like, the whole Miami of Ohio thing. Oh, is TVD back? Is he healthy and all that stuff? We saw that we don't have to just win one way. We can win in multiple ways. And that always puts defensive coordinators on their heels and makes them double question what they do. And when you start to get defensive coordinators confused, offenses start to do some pretty cool stuff.
Made a big pickup today, Ross. Armando Blount.
Oh, dude. Massive.
Over Florida State.
This is a 5-star plus type talent, guys.
I mean, you told me.
This is incredible. This is incredible, absolute elite talent coming to Miami. Elite.
What were the words you told me, Ross, when he committed?
What did I say, superstar?
You said this is the type of talent big-time SEC powerhouse programs get.
Yeah. That's what that was the second quote I gave to you after that. I said, this is the kind of guy that ends up in the SEC usually, and we pulled him.
I'm telling you. And that's over Texas A&M.
Yep.
Imagine beating Clemson.
Dude, any school in the nation would take Armando Blount. Any school in the nation. Georgia, Alabama, anybody would take him. And he committed to the University of Miami. That's what's awesome.
Ross, Kylorin, Miami Kane asks, what is your, does the defensive line depth concern you at all?
I mean, just in the fact that, some of these guys are young and raw, we do have a little experience back there. I'll get more comfortable with it as every week goes on because I know guys will get more experience. As of right now, I'm a little concerned because I got to see it to believe it first. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? I really do. That's just the way I am. But we've got the upside back there to make it happen eventually. It's just going to take time, I think, honestly. It's just going to take time.
No, I agree. I agree. I think it takes. Remember, this is year 2 of Mario Cristobal as well.
Yeah.
In the sense of recruiting. Now we are seeing some of his recruits take off. I mean, 3-star Emory Williams, for example. I mean, he
Wow.
looks like he's ready to go in college football, in my opinion. Chris Johnson Jr. taking things to the house. If you want to take recruits from the transfer portal that we evaluate and identified, you can run with that.
Yeah.
I'll let it slide. But like I said, man, this is only year 2 of Mario in recruiting. Give it time. We're not going to misevaluate players to the extent of past coaches.
We might, the transfer portal is the one that we might miss here and there on because that one can be a little tricky. The Thomas Gores of the world, we haven't hit on something like that, yet. But in recruiting, I trust these guys, bro. I trust these guys. And in the transfer portal, I basically trust them 90% of the time. So in my opinion, that's a lot of trust all around. I trust the scouting ability of the staff that we have at the University of Miami to bring the right players in and to bring the guys in who fit our system.
Exactly. Look, I mean, let's be real. Shannon Dawson coming from Houston, nobody really knew who the hell he was. Nobody.
They knew he passed the ball a lot. He liked to air it out.
And I mean, 3 games in, I'm 10 out of 10. I'm happy. 10 out of 10.
It's amazing what he's done with TVD, man. I mean, dude, I don't know if people even realize like the hell that TVD went through last year with Josh Gaddis.
Yeah.
And to be able and props to TVD for having the strong mentality to pull himself out of that hellhole and to take it to a new level with the new OC. That's not easy. Not all quarterbacks can do that, man. Some quarterbacks get rattled, they get broken, dude, and then they just don't come back from it.
Right.
TVD has got a strong mentality. He has a very strong mental state, and I give him a lot of props for that. 3 OCs in 3 years, and he's already proven to us that he can work magic with his third. A lot of props for TVD, man. That's a smart, high IQ football player right there.
It's very early, but I do like to make bold predictions. The rate TVD is going, we may see him as a Heisman finalist. Get on the bandwagon a little bit here, Ross.
Dude, if these numbers continue, there's no doubting it, Paul. I mean, how can you doubt those numbers if it happens all season? You can't. After a while, you just got to go, hey, this guy's putting up Heisman type of numbers.
30 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Why not?
Seriously.
Why not?
And add on all the passing yards on top of it.
Receivers look great. They stay healthy. This is the best receiver core we've had. I mean, with Rozier, you had Braxton Berrios. I think Daryl Langham was just, I don't think he's comparable to the receiver, to like a Colby Young, for example. I think Colby Young's a lot better.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't think like Jacoby George, for example. I don't think Malik Rozier had anyone like him.
No. At the same time, I don't know if Malik Rozier would have been able to even use these guys as well as TVD does, because TVD has more accuracy.
Exactly.
It's got a match from all sides, basically. Football is the ultimate team game. It can't. One thing can't be going wrong and the rest can be going right. If something's going wrong, it's going to affect the rest of the team in ways that we don't want to see. And it happens whether you see it or not. But so far, even when we've made our mistakes, we've picked ourselves back up, we've shown discipline, and we've just kept piling forward. We haven't let any of our mistakes slow us down, Paul. And that's something I haven't seen in a long time from Miami. It's very, very refreshing.
In the words of Eddie, next Saturday, Tyler Van Dyke will hit the 1,000-yard mark. It's only been a month of football.
That's special. That is special. And we've already beat a top 25 team to add into that.
And he threw for 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
Lighten it up right now, man.
Hey, guys, I'm telling you right now that I don't want to look ahead. There's no reason why we shouldn't beat Clemson. I'm calling it right now. I want the expectations high. Should be undefeated in that game, and we should beat Clemson. This is the year to beat Clemson.
If there is a year to
No
do
excuses.
If there's a year to do it, this is it, Paul. Honestly, this is it.
This is it.
If Dabo stays around at Clemson, for a couple more years, we know he's going to retool. We know he's going to keep rebuilding. Yeah. He'll never be happy being mediocre or second or third place. That's not Dabo. That's not how he lives his life. He will make a comeback eventually, but this year we can take advantage of that Clemson team, Paul. We absolutely can, and we can do it through the air or we can do it on the ground. And our defense seems to be prepared to fly around the field and match up with their athletes.
And we have them at home.
Yes.
Not in Death Valley.
And I hope the fan base is just going ape shit.
I hope so too.
The players would love it, man. You know that? The players will feed off that. We know that. The players absolutely love it.
We're at the 30-minute mark. If you have any questions you like to talk about, any topics that come to your mind, put them in the chat. University of Miami is 3-0. Taking care of business against the Bethune Cookman Wildcats. We got Temple next month. The infamous Temple Owls. Manny Diaz. Al Golden. You got to love it, man. You got to take care of business against those guys. I'm predicting we win 40-10, 35-3. There's no reason why we should be in a dogfight with Temple. I don't care. We recruit better on a yearly basis. I don't care if we take their coaches. I don't care.
We have better coaches and we have better players than they do, period, Paul.
Exactly. Well, Ross, look, anything else you want to talk about before we wrap it up on tonight's show?
Man, the only thing I was going to bring up was, and just to give props again to the Miami side, was we ran 70 total plays and Bethune Cookman ran 47. We ran 70 total plays. Bethune Cookman ran 47. That just kind of shows you the level of the offense that we're working at and the capacity of the offense we're working at.
With the running clock in the second half as well.
Yes. Impressive. Very impressive.
With the running clock. Keep that in mind.
Yep. Very impressive.
All right. Well, the Canes are 3-0. I hope everyone is having a great night. But besides that, I hope you guys are enjoying what we're seeing from the Miami Hurricanes so far.
Yes.
It's a complete 180 from last year. There's positive energy in the fan base. There's confidence as well. And we're headed in the right direction with Mario Cristobal as our head coach.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. You pretty much took the words right out of my mouth there.
With that being said, I hope everyone has a fantastic night. And always, all about the U. Go Canes.
Go Canes.